Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you all some of the products that I used and loved, or makeup products that I used and impressed me. I am not a makeup artist. I am an esthetician who loves to wear makeup on a day-to-day basis. This year I didn't explore a lot. I used to buy multiple eyeshadow palettes, and foundations, and highlighters each year, but recently, I've really just been trying to cut back on my consumption, focusing more on my needs versus my wants, and purchasing either to replenish favorites or try something new or different. The older I get, the more I discover what I truly love and what I feel most comfortable in and with. So this year I felt more comfortable in neutrals. If you are new here, my name is Nadia and I am a licensed esthetician who loves to test and review skincare products. Today, however, we are discussing makeup. I am a little sniffly. I've been a little sick for the last 5-7 days. And this is unfortunately going to be my second to last video here, as I did want to push myself and film a little bit more this year, but I just really need to take a break and really just kind of take care of myself here. So this will be my second to last video. Primers. I don't typically use primers here. I used to quite a bit before, but in my current opinion, SPF is the best primer. This year, however, I did find that the Ulla Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Moisturizer worked very well on my normal skin under SPF as a plumping, affirming, pore diffusing primer. I didn't really speak to that in my product review for that product because I did discover that I enjoyed it a lot as a moisturizer during my daytime routine after I had completed my review. So I will link my review to that product up above nonetheless. I am wearing that under my Dr. Loretta SPF today. So if you enjoy or like the appearance of my makeup, just know that that could have played a huge role in its appearance. Foundation. This is a very recent favorite and one product that I have just not been able to put down. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I am obsessed with this. The coverage, the finish. I can apply this with my fingers, a beauty blender, or my Morphe M4 something brush. Currently, I have been using it with a Morphe brush, and that is the foundation I am wearing on the skin today. I feel like with a brush, I do get more coverage. And during the winter, I do love a medium coverage moment. But during spring and summer, I do go back to skin tints. A skin tint that really, I feel, knocked it out of the park for me this year was the Summer Fridays Sheer Skin Tint. Excuse its appearance. This has some hyaluronic acid in here. I ordered shade number 5, and it works really well on my skin tone. I paired this with the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I have the shade MN5, and that is the concealer I'm also wearing today. I do love the fact that this is a natural finish, and if I compare it to a previous favorite like the Tower 28 Skin Tint, that one has a very luminous, dewy, very hydrating finish, which is something I don't always want, and that skin tint was incredibly dewy and luminous. This is definitely more of a natural finish that I enjoy in the spring and summer when I reach for something like this. The coverage here is definitely barely there. It does offer just a light wash of color. It can minimize the appearance of some uneven tone here. As far as post-inflammation hyperpigmentation, I'm not going to say that it covered everything, but it did kind of give the skin a healthy wash of color. I like applying this to the skin with my hands. And I do enjoy wearing this over the Summer Fridays since. For concealer, I'm not gonna say that this one was like the best concealer I have ever tried, but it was definitely a favorite, and this is the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I was thoroughly impressed with the coverage of this, the finish, and the fact that it is currently at least less than $20. This LYS is considered a clean beauty brand, and when I think of clean beauty, I usually think of really like highly hydrating products with a very dewy, luminous finish. And I like that this offers a natural finish with a full coverage. And I do like that compared to the Kosas Revealer Concealer, this doesn't lean too yellow. So really enjoyed this. I'm almost out of this, so I will probably replenish this instead of going back to the Kosas Concealer. I have the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is the anniversary edition that I picked up during the holidays. This I just use as an under eye concealer powder, and it has been so good. I didn't realize how good this powder was. I was always using the Hourglass Translucent Setting Powder, and then I switched on over to this, and I don't think I will look back. This is 4 grams, so I think it's even larger than their regular sized unit. But I really enjoyed this with my Tati Beauty sponge. Really enjoyed it here all along the under eyes. Sometimes I would use it here to kind of carve out the cheeks. And then sometimes when I didn't want to go in with my Kosas powder, I would use it here along the T-zone to kind of get rid of any shine. I love just how finely milled this is, and it's just really, really good. I probably look really bright under the eyes today. I just didn't remove any of the powder because I just look really like a hot mess today, and I probably sound like it too. This is hands down one of my favorite powders. This is the Kosas Cloud Set Baked Setting Powder. I have 2. I have the shade Softly and the shade Cushiony. I have purchased this multiple times since its launch. I actually use this as an eyeshadow, especially the shade Cushiony. I use this as kind of like an inner corner color, but mostly I find myself using this along the T-zone here. And this does kind of lean a little bit yellow. It is a very kind of translucent finish, so I love that it's not going to add any additional coverage. It's very fine. It doesn't get cakey at all. It's just a very beautiful powder, and I think it was a favorite of mine last year as well. This is the shade Softly. Before I introduced this product that I'm going to talk about in a minute, I used to use this as kind of a contouring, bronzing shade, and also an eyeshadow here. But I really enjoyed this as well. I'll probably just continue to go back and forth between this and the next powder I will be talking to you about. These work incredibly well. Love the finish, and they do come in a number of shades as well. The next powder I do want to talk about is the Haus Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. I have the shade 6. The packaging here is absolutely stunning. You have a really nice mirror here, and this is what the shade looks like. This is a fairly new product in my collection, but I really just love the texture and feel of this over the skin. It is a very, very fine powder, and one that I think is very buildable. I picked up shade 6. This is perfect for light, medium to medium skin. It is the powder that I am wearing as a kind of bronzer. So this here is the Haus Labs shade. This here is the Kosas. It is warm, which is something I tend to lean towards, but it's just a very beautiful, finely milled product. And I do try to start very light and then just kind of press and build to my liking. Very impressed with the Haus Labs range. For highlighter, If I ever wore a highlighter in my videos, it was the Ilia Decades Daylight Highlighting Powder. This has been in my collection for well over 12 months. But one I have enjoyed quite a bit. I feel like it works on my skin no matter the season. If it's hot, if it's cold, this shade works well. It is the one I am wearing as a highlighter today. I do like that sometimes I can go in with it here along the chin, over the cupid's bow, on the nose. Sometimes I will also just use it along the inner corner. And I don't know if you've noticed a trend here, but I have really just tried to keep my makeup as simple as possible. The least amount of products, the best. So I will just use regular face products along the eyes to create a quick, easy, fast look. I used to play a lot with eyeshadows. I just really don't find myself reaching for them as much as I used to. And even then, I don't really think that I used a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I did, however, pick up the Ilia Warm Nude, the Necessary eyeshadow palette this year. And I feel like if there was a palette for me, it is this one. Do I think that this is, you know, the absolute must-have best palette of the year? I don't think so. Like I mentioned, I typically just wore my Kosas powders, my bronzer as eyeshadows, and my highlighter as an inner corner highlight. But this, you know, if we were to talk about an eyeshadow palette, this is probably one I will continue to reach for in 2023. It has all of the shades that I feel most comfortable in this point of my life. I mean, so far I want to say that I like the formula. This is the eyeshadow palette that I used for my sister's wedding, and I really enjoyed how well the products held together in kind of warmer weather. Mascara, I tried a few and I enjoyed the AETHER Beauty mascara, but I don't think it was the best formula I ever tried. I do think that the brand is very innovative, as the entire component was completely recyclable. I feel like as far as the formula, it is the blackest black, but it is not a matte finish. It did have kind of like a little bit of a sheen to it. And to be honest, I wasn't really wowed by mascaras this year. I probably should have tried the Tower 28 mascara, and I may just order it and talk about it in a future favorites video. Kosas almost won this category again this year, but I was thoroughly impressed with the Benefit brow products. So let's start here with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. They sent over a number of care packages this year, and even though they did send over some care packages, I did pick up products myself. I picked up the Jolly Brow Bunch. This is a set that contains the Precisely My Brow Pencil, Gimme Brow, and the 24-hour Brow Setter for like 30 bucks. I did pick it up during their 30% off sale for Black Friday. I picked up the shade 4. Currently, today, I am wearing the shade 3.5, and in their Benefit Advent calendar, I did get the shade 4 as a mini, so I'm very excited about that. But I really like just how fine the tip of this pencil is here. So you can create very lovely hair-like strokes. I'm probably missing a few sparse areas here. I will say I haven't worn makeup in 5 days. So like sometimes after you're sick, you forget how to do these things. I did do a skincare routine last 2 days, and I did manage to mask with Baby Facial, my Bondi Babe Clay Mask, and a hydrating mask, and boy did that make a huge difference in my appearance. But loved this. This does come with very dirty very dirty spoolie. The next step in my brow routine has been this. This is the 24-hour brow setter. This is an invisible shaping gel for brows. So that's what that looks like. This is a very good brow setter. I love the dual-sided wand here. I'm not sure if you can tell. So we have short bristles and then longer bristles. That way you can really set unruly hairs. And I like that this isn't crunchy at all, and it's not flaky at all. This is clear here. And the formula again is flexible and flake proof. It does a really good job at keeping all of my brows in place throughout the day, despite taking like maybe 5-6 clients every day. And then the next step in my brow routine is the Benefit Give Me Brow. There are several things I love about this. First, let's discuss the very tiny, lovely brush here. This is tapered and it makes it easy to really get in there in between each brow hair to coat it with very tiny microfibers that create a very natural, full, bold brow. One that I have loved for years and years. I just love a bold, bushy, attention commanding brow. So really thoroughly enjoyed these and will continue to use them in 2023. Blushes, I do have a number of them and they are all by Benefit. I did do a blush video, so I will link that up above for you if you would like to see the rest of the Benefit blush collection. But I'll go ahead and start with the shade Sunny. This is a warm coral blush. You can tell how much I have loved this. This is like almost falling apart. But this is the perfect everyday coral for me. I use this a lot during summer, and sometimes I will still mix this with Willa when I don't use it on its own. You can even barely see the imprint of the name of this. So I'll do a little swatch. So there is Sunny. I'm not sure if you can see it. The next one I have is Pom Pom. This is a pomegranate rose blush. This is a deeper shade that works very well for me during fall, winter. A light layer of this works very well on my medium skin tone. Very well loved as well. This is Pom Pom here. Let me do a swatch of, let me show you the pencil here. I'm going to put it right here by the bronzer. Just how fine that line is. There's some pigment. There's some, you can see the pigment, so it's not too bold, which you don't always want. But it is very fine. And then let's chat Starla. This is a new addition and one I picked up during the Sephora sale. I picked up a mini because I have loads of full-size Benefit blushes that I'm definitely not going to get through as much as I try, but Starla is a rosy bronze blush. It is a blush I am wearing on the cheeks today. It's already very well loved again, and you'll probably won't be able to see it, but it is right here. And there is a little bit of a sheen to this as well, which I think is rather lovely. And then next up I have Willa. This is a soft neutral rose. This is definitely the perfect everyday neutral rosy blush on my medium complexion. Sometimes I will mix both of these together, both Sunny and Willa, to kind of create a very nice mix, very personal mix, if you will. I'll do that one here. She's definitely on the lighter side, but definitely still works on my complexion. So those are blushes. Lips. These are some new ones, and these are probably repeats from last year. But let's start with the Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Lip Sculpting Lip Pencil in Tan. Swatch it here. That's the shade. And I am also wearing that today. I do have kind of 3 products on the lips. Really enjoy this formula. It's soft, it applies easily without breaking apart, and it is long lasting without making the lips feel dry at any point throughout the day. And then next up I have the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Lip Plumping Serum in Honey Glow. This is a recent favorite. This is a sheer brown as well. I am wearing that on the lips today, and I consider this a lip plumper without the pain. Highly recommend if you want plumper, hydrated, kind of juicy looking lips without the pain. And then on top of that concoction, I am wearing the Merit shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil in Taupe. I am almost out of this, and I just love this shade so much. It's kind of like my lips, but better. And I really enjoyed the lip oil formula by Merit. I feel like it's rich in pigment, lightweight, and it doesn't kind of gather up on the lips or kind of dry out the lips. And then for lipsticks, I do have the Merit Signature Lip and Slip and Baby. I have talked about these. These are kind of embarrassing to show because they're kind of like my go-to. Like, this is just disgusting. But this is the shade Slip, and this is the shade Baby. Baby is more of a pinky shade and neutral. Slip is more of a neutral brown, so you can see that. Very neutral color story for me this year. Not a lot of exploration, just kind of really embracing what I love and enjoy on myself. A setting spray. This was a very late purchase, and one that I just didn't know where I had been without this. This is hands down one of my favorite setting sprays ever. I can use this to set my makeup, and I can use it to refresh it. It definitely helps to blur the appearance of pores, especially along my T-zone here, which has been really bothering me a lot recently. And it really does all of those things. It sets your makeup in place, won't budge, especially with like blush that kind of tends to disappear towards the end of the day. This does a really good job kind of holding it in place. As a refreshing setting spray, it just kind of blurs the pores again. It kind of wakes up the face or the skin. And I do use it as a refreshing setting spray at around 2 or 3 o'clock. Towards the end of the day, I don't feel like this does have more of a matte finish, kind of like the Urban Decay setting spray can have sometimes. This has more of a natural finish, and at the end of the day, I do have some shine kind of peeking through since I do have a normal skin type, but it's not bothersome at all. And then once I set or reset or refresh my face again, it looks very natural. I did pick up a smaller unit during the Sephora fall sales event, and then I went in and picked up a bigger size during the Benefit Black Friday sale. So that is all I have. Let me know what you loved in the makeup world in 2022. Let me know all of those loves, things that you really enjoyed and would recommend to those in our small community. You can list those down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you don't mind my sick voice today. I am getting a very dry throat here, but I think that is all I have. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and be sure to check out the rest of the videos that are popping up here around me if you want to stick around, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. This is fairly new, but one that really, this is a fairly new product. Take 2. Beauty Blend, my beauty oh shit. It is the Blackest Blank. I am very distracted in this video, so, and then